to Our Voices, a TV program of the Edo Women's Development Initiative. My name is Yinka Omorogwe, and I will be one of your hostesses over the next few weeks. I hope you'll stay with us and watch some of the very informative programs that we will be having. EWDI is concerned with contributing to the upliftment of society in whatever way we can. And therefore, we're going to be talking about issues that we believe positively impact on the society, particularly that impact upon women and children. But men, please hold on, don't switch off the set, because what we're talking about impacts on everybody at the end of the day. A lot of the issues that some might say are women's issues actually have to do with all of us, and some other issues that concern women, such as crime and unemployment, impact on everybody. So I know that everyone is going to have something to gain from our program. EWDI has been active since July 2014. We have held 2 annual conferences, one in 2014 and one in 2015. Both have been very, very good conferences and have been very well attended. At the first conference, we had great speakers, and the conference was declared open by our very own comrade governor, Adams Oshomole. And he had some very, very interesting things to say. These are just a little bit snippets of what he said during that conference.
I think that the idea of bringing women together from various backgrounds and talking to them, listening to the first speaker, Mrs. Dr. Esohe Agatise, just listening to her submission that is so eloquently and very confidently delivered, I have also enriched my own knowledge about the issues. And listening to her, it is clear that all of us can individually and collectively take upon ourselves the responsibility not to lament the deprivation of women, the hardship that women experience, how poor men turn their wives to magicians, to cook with 50 naira, a pot of soup filled with meat, fish, vegetable, and everything. Just listening to her, it was more of a message of hope, reminding us that we are not powerless as women, and that to start with, we must have that self-confidence that women are not inferior to any other group. And it is not about competition between men and women. It's simply about making the point that no society can make a progress if by its policies or absence of policies, majority or a simple majority of your populace remain underdeveloped. The official statistics of Nigeria in terms of population distribution shows that women are indeed a simple majority. So if due to poorly articulated public policies, or even if they were properly articulated, they are not enforced or implemented to the spirit and the letter. If our actions and inactions in government or out of government, we do not empower the majority of our citizens, then we can't talk of empowerment of anybody. So the first point I want to make this morning is that women should stop preaching to men to give them opportunity, because nobody gives away what favors him. But my own life experience has taught me that when you are organized and you are mobilized and you are determined to change a situation that impoverishes you, a situation that oppresses you, a system that victimizes you, that the day you make up your mind to engage the drivers of that system will be defeated. So stop begging men to give you a chance. Engage the men and push them aside. That is the way to go. Because the truth of the matter is that you do not need to be an historian of world political history to recognize that the world's largest democracy, larger than America, was presided over for years by a woman in India. India is the largest democracy on the planet and has been governed and presided over by a woman. And for those who are students of world economic history, you will agree that the one woman that will be remembered in history, either for good or for bad, but you can't be neutral, depending on how you were affected by her policies. The woman that reordered the way the world thinks and the way the world works, or the way it doesn't work, was a woman, now late Mrs. Margaret Thatcher. And she was so powerful that even the British men, including the male chauvinists among them, recognized and referred to Margaret Thatcher as the only man in the British Parliament on account of her courage, her brilliance, her determination, and her consistency. It's not something that, it's not a theoretical question whether what a man can do, a woman can do better, but that whatever men have done, women have done it better in our history. In Edo State, I can tell you that in our public service, and I'm happy we have the chairman of the Civil Service Commission here, majority of our permanent secretaries, or at least almost half, are women, and they are doing extremely well. In the judiciary, I feel we have almost 50-50 female judges vis-a-vis male judges, and they are showing uncommon courage on the bench. So in every facet of our life, women are making their mark. And I think in this part of the country, Edo State, our people, including the poor, hardly need to be educated about the benefits of the girl child at this time. Maybe 20 years ago, that was the case. But today, the poorest among us recognize that the way out of poverty is to invest in the girl child. So we should salute and acknowledge that the Edo woman is far ahead, is above average compared to the average Nigerian woman. As we speak, the official statistics from the Federal Ministry of Education shows that in the South-South sub-region, children out of school, including the girl child, in Edo State, is around 6%. It is much, much higher in Delta, in Cross River, in Rivers, in Akwa Ibom, in Bayelsa. So we are the best in the South-South. And we are determined to maintain that position until we get to a level of 0 child out of school.
In July 2015, we had another great conference. During this conference, we examined the issues of violence, crime, and unemployment. And we had great speakers who shared their insights on the different topics. Over the next few weeks, we'll be talking about some of the issues that our speakers in the last two conferences discussed. We'll be talking about issues relating to crime, to youth unemployment, to balancing work and home life for women. We'll be talking about issues that face women in the workplace, and we'll also be talking about the sex trade in Italy that unfortunately involves a large number of girls from Edo State. We have one of our sisters who is a member of EWDI that spoke about it during the 2014 conference. I would like you to hear a few words from Dr. Esohe Agatise. In the course of the program, she will have a few more words to say in a later edition. But for this one, please just listen to these few words.
When you talk about family status, we're talking about the question of women in marriages, how women are regarded in Edo society. Women unfortunately face a situation of sub-status in Edo society. Benin Edo women are very strong, hard-working women. Without their presence, without their great contribution, this society would not stand as in any other society in any other part of the world. But unfortunately, this contribution, this presence, this status is not recognized. When half of the society is not recognized, then the whole society pays a heavy price for that. And that is what the Edo society is paying. And that is one of the things we want to address. Women have a substandard status in Edo society, and we want this change. There is a need for this to be addressed. The question of education. It is common knowledge that when there is a choice between who to send to school, in most families in Edo society, the choice is usually that of sending the male child to school, and the female child is usually encouraged to get married. What is happening right now is the fact that the girl child is not being given that opportunity to get a good education and contribute to the society. When you train one woman, you are not training just one person. You are training a whole community. Because the woman will have children, she will be one to educate. She is the first educator. A woman is the first educator in any society. Because she is the one that gives the first basic education of how to live within the society to her children. And so that means you are beginning to train a community. When you train one woman, you train a community. The question of professional life. The question of professional life. When you see women in professional life, and I take myself as an example, I was in Univen many years ago. I was a lecturer in Univen. During a faculty board, that sometimes we close as late as 2 a.m. My male colleagues kept on saying to me, "Oh, why are you still here? Why aren't you at home with your family? Why are you not married? Why are you staying with the others at home with their children?" Now, when we get married, we are supposed to be one half of the couple. We're not supposed to be that other half who does both sides. But the reality is that women cover both their professional career systems and they also take care of the home front. We want our men to be present and to recognize the fact that if they don't give their support on the home front will not progress. When you see two people who come together as a couple, they get married, and they decide to put up a family. If both of them work together, you say, when two hands wash each other, you have very clean hands. But if it's only one that's doing the job, that hand is not going to be clean. So when both sides of the couple work together, if my career says that I work very late, I come late, my husband should be able to carry out part of the work at home. He is not helping me, he's doing his part of the job. And that is the way it should be. It shouldn't that, okay, you are coming to help me to take care of my children. They are your children too. So it shouldn't be a one-side thing. This is what part of what we are asking for. That the status of women in our society should be recognized. Women are human beings. They are not objects to be used either as dance objects or as sexual objects to satisfy the sexual needs of men. This is not what women are. Women are strong contributions of the society, and we want that to be recognized. And we want the women themselves to begin to change things, to begin to recognize their own value. Part of the problem is that women do not recognize their value. When I see some of our young women in the streets, the way they behave, the way they present themselves, what they do with their bodies, I am shocked. And I say to them sometimes, but don't you have any value for yourself? Your body is a sacred vessel, and you must conserve it. You must treat it with respect. The respect that you treat yourself is the same respect that others will give to you. So we also need that charity to start from home. The question of political participation. We see our women at the forces, behind the political parties, behind candidates, behind those who run for office. Many times, our women, unfortunately, and I'm going to be very blunt about this, our women become objects that are used to support political aspirations. But at the end of the day, we don't see any result from that. So my appeal to you women is this. You have power in your hands as women. You have that power to choose, to say, I am going to choose this person because this person is going to change something in my life. It isn't enough to accept a roll of wrapper or a bowl of rice to vote for someone. That is selling your right. We need it to be there. So please don't sell your birthright. Insist. Ask your representatives to do something. This conference was convened precisely because of that. One of our representatives in the Senate voted a law that is damaging to our women, to the girl child. A law that, in interpretation, means that even a child of 8 or 9 can be regarded as an adult, will be married, and so regarded as an adult. We don't want any of that to happen. Children should be at school to study, not at home as wives.
Welcome back. You will notice that I made reference to town halls. That is because since we started in 2014, we have had town halls with various themes. Over Christmas and into the early new year in January, we also started a very significant EWDI program, which we believe will, or at least we hope, will make a very big impact on society in our own little way. We started a fund that we are going to use to assist the less fortunate people who, for whatever reason, end up in hospital and are unable to pay their hospital bills. We actually did some hospital visitations. We went to the Central Hospital, where we met with some patients. We also went to UBTH, where we were also able to meet with some patients and were able to assist them in being able to leave. This medical program is going to be a stand-alone program of its own that will be related to all our activities. And we are going to have a TV episode that's going to highlight some of the issues that we discovered that day, and going to highlight some of the people that we were fortunate enough to be able to impact upon. We are inviting you to please stay tuned for that episode on another day completely. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Sophie Billy Obejina. Yes, sir.
How long have you been here?
4 months now.
4 months. What happened?
I'm a trailer driver. I have accident
Where?
at Oba, Onitsha.
How did you get here?
I went to Native before, so they didn't do it well. So I now come to UBTH.
And you were here for 4 months.
Yes.
So how did you pay your bills first of all?
If you start with I'm I don't have help. It's one church that helped me to pay 50,000. For the operation and the money for the surgery. I'm the one that afford it. So when the church
You paid?
Yes.
How much?
I bought what I used to do operation. This one 41,000. This one 40,000. So with the drugs, I'm the one that afford. So when I finish the operation, church come and pay 50,000 and tell me that they don't have any money again to assist me.
Is it your church or just the church?
Just a
helping?
church, yes.
Okay.
So I take the issue to ward manager to tell him to refer me to welfare that I don't have money to pay for bill.
As a medical social worker.
So my medical social welfare.
Okay, that is in the hospital here.
Yes.
Oh, that's very good.
I now write to medical social welfare. So when the church now pay 50,000, they say that they will see into the issue. So ward manager started going around because of the issue. Yesterday he called me, tell me that people will come to assist me for the bill. So let me be praying. So I say, I will be praying. I will be happy that if they help me to pay the bill.
So the hospital continued to treat you all
Yeah,
this
they
time?
continue to treat me, giving me food.
Okay, until the bill ran up to the present amount?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the ward manager, we have to commend him and thank him very much, and we have to really thank the hospital, because definitely we wouldn't have known anything about this if they hadn't spoken. So we're very happy that we are able to intervene in this matter. And so once we have finished, you will be discharged and by the grace of God ready to go. Desmond.
Amari. Yeah. Then a trailer on high speed. The thing passed.
Was it in Benin? Where?
Along Upper Mission. Edopolo Grammar School. I'm in J3. GS3.
How long have you been there?
2 months and some weeks.
So you missed your exams in December.
Yeah.
But you're ready to go back to school. You're doing well in school.
Yes, ma'am. I was a prefect then.
You are a prefect, eh? You are still a prefect, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so your school is fun to school.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course it does, and that is responsible. What prefect were you?
Labor prefect.
Labor prefect, actually. So that's responsible. Okay, all right. Okay, then.
Yes.
Okay.
38160.
I must have.
Your father full of junk. But you,
Thank God, that's good. Thank you.
That's more. Congratulations.
In the course of our programs, particularly during our town hall meetings, we have noticed that certain topics just keep on cropping up. For instance, when we had a meeting on finance, the issue of child defilement and child rape just kept on cropping up. In the same way, in the course of our Christmas party, when we were just having discussions, we found that discussions on female genital mutilation and again, sexual defilement of minors kept on coming up. So we see that there are some recurrent issues that need to be talked about in this society, but for some reason, we're not talking about these things. We believe that there are certain things that we need to speak about. Just bring them into the open. We believe that certain things must be talked about. If they are not talked about, they will be allowed to continue in society and they will fester and they will cause a lot of harm and hardship to the people who are impacted. What we have here, at the point, I will just give a few minutes for people to look through. But here you will see that we were basically discussing and deliberating on the way forward at different things that we could do to advance ourselves forward.
Every day we see on television, our daughters, our young women, they give birth to babies and throw into the dustbin. They steal from the high hill and throw the child into the big gutter, and you see babies with whom. Even there was one baby that was rescued. You know, the child was thrown into a drainage church or something, and the child survived. The child was in the hospital. How can you carry a baby for 9 months? Then you look at this child, you tie the child in a paper bag and throw it away. What do you think is responsible for that? A man is responsible for that pregnancy. That man has said, I'm not the owner. Maybe because he's married to one woman that will not agree for him to impregnate another lady or young girl outside. Instead of that child to be raised as a bastard, she decides to throw that child away. Or maybe she's not empowered.
So we have a reason for the name of this program. It is called Our Voices, because we see this program as being one where the voices of everybody will be heard, from those who are marginalized, from those who feel that they are disenfranchised, to those who feel that they have no voice at all. We believe that all those voices need to be heard, and we see this as being a program where all those issues that concern all the different people in society can be discussed. We are called Our Voices, so we encourage you to listen to us and to share with us what your opinions are and what your perspectives are. My name is Yinka Omorogbe. Please watch us next week. Thank you very much.